argue that having cameras on law enforcement at all times is a lack of privacy. Not being able to speak without the fear of incriminating yourself. Others also may think that it makes matters worse on the citizens that don't want to be recorded because they don't know what to say. Some citizens are worried that cops are going to be able to turn them off at any point in time and be able to control them at their leeway. Hi, I'm Amber. Let's talk about why I believe law enforcement should wear body cameras at all times. There's 3 main points I want to discuss with you on why. My first main point is protection. My second is dispute resolution. My third is critical evidence. Growing up, cops were around all the time. I kind of got used to them. My dad wasn't the perfect person. So let's further discuss on why I believe these 3 reasons are why law enforcement should wear body cameras at all points in time. My first main point is protection. Not just my protection, your protection, or any other citizen's protection, but also our law enforcement's protection. Not only is it going to cover their butts, but it also covers ours. Anything happens, they can always fall back onto those cameras. Yeah, we have cameras inside of the dashes and whatnot, but nobody really gets to see what happens inside of the cop car or when the cop comes up to the door to see what's going on or the main reason why he even pulled you over. Also, citizens, the use of force by officers would drastically decrease. Safety Vision article stated in Rialto, California, that by them using body cameras, their use of force decreased by 60% in the first year that their officers put on body cameras. And then my second main point would be dispute resolution. Meaning complaints investigated would kind of go by a little bit quickly. For instance, I had a run-in with an officer just this last week. Completely rude, didn't really understand why he was there. He told me to be quiet a bunch of times, didn't let me answer my questions or anything like that. So I asked to speak to the sergeant, and his sergeant showed up and discussed with me what had happened, and what that officer had done was completely wrong. And the way I went about asking for a sergeant was much better. Had he had a body camera on, his sergeant would have been able to pull that camera footage and see the way he addressed me as a citizen, not allowing me to make a report or anything of the such. And then knowing also what went wrong where. They're able to have live footage, go back and go through it all over again and see, was the citizen in the wrong or was it the officer? And there's so many disputes that happen that we don't really know whether the officer's telling the truth or the citizen's telling the truth. And finally, my third main reason, critical evidence. So what I mean by critical evidence is something that's not seen by the law enforcement officer. So let's say, for instance, an officer is going up to the car to discuss a speeding ticket. The car decides to take off. Well, the cop wasn't really able to catch the license plate number, and his camera actually did. So they were able to rewind that and see that the license plate number was actually on the body camera. The dashboard cam, I guess, was a little bit fuzzy from what I read about it. And also the valued info to the police department. Like anything that went wrong that day could be used for the police department to not only better their officers, but see what they can do to better our community. There are steps that they take, and one of these is getting body cameras here soon. So my goal here today was to persuade you that every cop should wear body cameras. 3 main points I went over today was protection. Without not having protection, we don't have the backup, and neither do our cops. My second main point was dispute resolution. Having a thumb over our officers' heads, making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing the proper way. Again, making for a better community. And then my third main point was critical evidence. Something may happen that we don't get the option to see or report, and having that extra eye for our police officers as well as for our community is awesome. And with that being said, I want to thank you.